Good morning and hello. My name is Andreia Soares and I'm currently a junior at Trinity College, but right now I am studying abroad in Edinburgh, Scotland, and I'm attending the University of Edinburgh. So today I wanted to make kind of a recap video, what it's like to have a cultural immersion or just any type of immersion in general into a new area, a new environment, specifically through the lens of me coming here to Scotland. So I'm going to be talking about 1, nature, 2, academics, 3, services, and 4, friends, FOMO, all of that. As an avid hiker myself, instead of just sitting in front of the camera and telling you guys about all these different experiences that I've been having, my plan is to take you guys to one of my favorite walking areas or like walking paths in Edinburgh. It's not a full hike, but it is about 3.5, maybe 4 miles. It's right along this river called the Water of Leith, and it's something that I've done 2-3 times at this point, but I really enjoy doing it. Just the end of it, I think it goes for like 22 miles. Y'all, we're not doing 22 miles today, but I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna go. Okay guys, as you can see, we made it! Yay! So we're at the start of our journey today on our walk, and very symbolic of, I think, honestly, coming to study abroad, right? You're about to go on this big journey. You don't know what's next. I mean, I've done this, so I know what's next. But every time it's different, so you don't know. So as somebody who really enjoys being outdoors, it was really important for me once I touched down in Scotland to find different areas of nature that I could really immerse myself in. For me, being in nature is so peaceful. It really grounds me. It makes me feel calm. Even being here right now by the water is just like so incredibly beautiful. And I think that maybe not for everybody, if nature's not your thing, that's totally fine. But finding something that is kind of like a flagpole that you can grab onto when things do get tough and when things do change and when hardship does come is really important. And making sure that those things are, you know, things that bring you peace and make you feel like you have 2 feet on the ground, I think is just so important. So I did also purposely pick Scotland because of how much nature is intertwined, not only in the Highlands, but obviously in the cities as well. But I also did get really lucky because the University of Edinburgh has a hill walking society. So within my first couple of weeks here, I got to climb one of these really big mountains called Ben Vane. It was so incredible. Here are some pictures with rainbows and I don't know, just mist, incredible views at the top. It was so enjoyable. And I made friends from that experience who I recently had Friendsgiving with as well. Even when the IFSA coordinators texted in our like big group chat for everybody in Scotland that the Northern Lights were going to be visible from Edinburgh. So the Northern Lights are visible from just the park right around the corner from my flat. So having those opportunities and then grabbing onto them, you know, going out and chasing what makes you happy cannot be understated. So we're about 1.6 miles in. We came upon a part of the path that I'm not as familiar with, and I went the wrong way. Ooh. Okay, so we're backtracking a little bit and we're just rerouting, making a new plan and getting back on track. So I thought right now would be a good time to talk about academics. The truth is, adjusting to any type of different academic curriculum or different style of learning that every country has is gonna be a challenge, whether it's easier or harder or somewhere in the middle. But for me, definitely adjusting to the different style of academics in the UK was a little different. Things are a little bit more independent here. It's a little bit more focused on what you're passionate about. And because it's such a large school, you might not feel as like interconnected to the rest of your classmates. But the truth is, you really can find optimism in any different scenario that you're in. So for me, it started with loving and admiring Edinburgh's academic buildings. As you can see, they were so incredibly beautiful, and it just kind of makes you feel a sense of pride for your work and your learning. That's kind of where it started for me. Edinburgh, I think, has something like 40,000 students, which like blew my mind initially. So the campus is kind of spread all within the city. Feeling so interconnected with the life and the pulse of Edinburgh as a student was such an incredible experience. I mean, I was passing the Royal Mile, which is one of Edinburgh's most popular tourist attractions, and just to get to class. And so I have seen on my way to class, I've seen people swallow swords, I've seen people swallow fire, escape from chains, because these street performers are just so amazing. So yeah, that is my story on rebounding. We're about 3.5 miles into the walk, and we're at a great spot where we're a little bit farther from the water, and as you can see, there's lots of greenery kind of surrounding us. And something that I was noticing about this greenery is it all kind of blends in together. So there's different shades of green, but they all really work together. And so I thought it would be a great time to talk about services and customs and how you can adapt and blend into those different customs in the country that you may be visiting. For me in Scotland, that looked like different relationships with the waiter, where you're working a little harder to flag down the waiter in the UK, or greeting the bus driver when you get onto the bus, and even being quieter, hushing your voice a little bit when you're on public transportation. It was all a lot different from me in the US. Those were different customs that I had to learn and observe and adapt to. So while I really worked on folding myself into all of those experiences and all of those norms, you also find ways that you stand out in the best ways and in the funniest ways. I remember, for example, like I said, people are generally really quiet on public transportation, and 99% of the time that's how I am too. But I had two friends with me who were riding the bus, and we could not stop giggling. It was like joke after joke was just coming out, and we could not stop. And as I observed a little bit harder, as I opened my ears a little bit more, I heard everyone around us laughing along. I know that there's oftentimes some stereotypes about loud Americans or noisy Americans, and while that was a paranoia of mine, I also recognized how these people were cracking up at the jokes that me and my friends were making towards each other. Like, it was ridiculous. We were definitely the loudest people. It became an experience that we could all laugh off together. Four 4.5 miles later, we made it to the end of the Leith Water Walk. We did it! So the ocean, this is Leith Port, and the ocean is just right over that bridge. But this is where the river continues to go on through the city. The last theme that I'd like to talk about on our final stop is FOMO, which is generally like the fear of missing out. But comparing your experiences to other people in your program or even other friends that are studying abroad, I think that when you're in the thick of your experience, and at least for me, it's easy to get kind of caught up and overwhelmed with trying to do everything and wanting to be everywhere at once. So I think that may make a lot of us want to kind of hone into ourselves and be a little bit more introspective and take some time to really process what's going on, which is all needed. I have found that one of the most useful things for me was talking to people. And whether that's other people studying abroad in other places, or other students studying abroad in the same place that you are, or even talking to my mom and comparing my study abroad experiences to hers. So I think it's really a double-sided approach. It's important to understand your boundaries and what makes you feel safe, and your flag posts that you can hold on to when things do get hard, but then also continuously putting yourself out there. I cannot count the number of times where I didn't want to go to something and I thought it might be cheesy or I thought it might be useless, and I walked out making friends or making a connection that I later held on to. And it's also something that IFSA really inspires and encourages you to do, which I really appreciate. So feeling FOMO, or the fear of missing out, is normal. I know I did, especially in the limited time that you have abroad, where, just like me, I only have about 2 weeks left here, and it is crazy how fast everything is gone. So taking advantage of the time you have here and creating new memories is the way to go. Now we're on the bus back home. Made it home, so thank you for watching.